Hey, good evening. Good evening. Tonight, got a real special guest, a brother, a friend that I've known since I can remember. We got actor, comedian Vernon Thomas in the house. And we got another title we're going to just talk about. He got two more titles we'll get into later in discussion. But what's up, Vern?
What's up, man? What's good, Q,
Hey
man?
man, you tell me, I know you've been doing this, you've been doing your thing for a while, and I know you've been grinding, trying to, honing your craft. Let's talk about your comedic journey. Just give us a little bit about where you from, Vernon. Even though I know, maybe somebody in the chat may not know, or the audience.
Right. Okay, yeah. Born and raised in Union, New Jersey, aka Curryville. The Ville, shout out the Ville. 07083. Yeah, man. Growing up in the Ville, you already know Union High School, all that. Union, New Jersey, grade kindergarten through 12, man. So it's very interesting with the writing, the comedy journey is I never really wanted to be a comedian. I only started doing the comedy in order to become a better writer. So the way that happened was we were in school, we about I guess ninth or 10th grade, and we had a project career day. Like, what do you want to be? What do you want to do with your life? And the goal, the plan was, hey, find out what your occupation that you want, what you want to be, do some research on it, then present your research and whatever. So I was like, I love comedy, I love writing, so I want to be a comedy writer. So when I went to research it, everything I went to was like, if you want to be a comedy writer, you should do stand up because it's going to teach you timing. It's going to teach you, everything that you need, to be a better writer, comedy writer. And that's the only reason I ever jumped on stage. Because, if you know me from high school, I was always the shy dude. I didn't say two words. You know what I'm saying? So people hear me being a comedian like, what? In what world is this? Well, it's the multiverse? Is this the multiverse where Vernon is a comedian and he speaks? Because, I was a very quiet, shy, laid back kind of guy. So, but that's the only reason why I started doing comedy. So I went on my journey one day. I told my sister about it, which I should never did because she started coming home with all these flyers. And, she started just applying pressure. Like, you said you want to do it. And I was just so nervous, man. And I just took one of the flyers and went there. And it was, I'll never forget, Tina Graham. She said, I can't put you on this show, but I'll put you on another show. You can, come and do 5 minutes. And that's what I did over for the show. It's still there today. It's on Route 22. It's it's a little motel out there on Route 22. Forgot the name of it. But it was the country fried comedy night. So
tell us about that experience. How was that like? You got 5 minutes. Did you prepare your jokes? Did you want to go off the cuff?
Yeah, so what happened? That was interesting, man. What happened was I wrote some material beforehand. I wrote about 5 minutes of material. I just wrote out a lot of material, and then what I would do is get in the mirror and I would recite the material and time it. And that's how you can see, how many minutes you have. So I had 5 minutes, and so I went down there. And at the time, I was a car salesman. I was 19 years old. I think I was 20 years old. So I just got off work. I had on a little suit, and everything. Went fresh out there, and the comedy show was starting out. So it's all these comedians. Like some of the comedians pretty well known now. And I had my 5 minutes. You got the 5 minutes. You go first. So the host goes up, go first. And I was just sitting there, just terrified. You know what I'm saying? And the bartender was like, "Man, you look scared." I was like, "Yeah, I got to go on. I'm going on next." He's like, "Man, you need to get a drink or something." He didn't even know I was 20. You know what I mean? But he was like, "You need to get a drink." I was like, "Yeah, give me a drink." So he made me a Long Island iced tea. Man, I had that one. Then I had another one. By the time I got up there, I didn't really know what I was talking about.
Look, so that's the beginning of your journey. And how did you think the crowd received you?
So it was interesting, man, because I did my jokes. I got a few laughs here and there. And then the host that was hosting the show, he roasted me when I got off. I never forget. He was like, "Yeah, that brother was just missing one thing, a punchline."
Oh,
So he roasted me. Got off of there, man. And then afterwards, you kind of look for validation from the people, so you feel a little better. People was coming up to me like, "Yeah, that was good, man. Keep doing it." And then one lady came up to me, I'll never forget. She was like, you have a lot of cursing in there. You don't really fit you. It don't really fit you, that all that cursing and stuff. It don't
Mm,
really, I never forgot. I never really forgot that. You know what I mean? And
mm.
that was the first experience. That was the
Wow,
first bomb of many.
wow. So let me ask you, because I know you've been doing it. I mean, I don't want to tell your age, but from doing it at 20 years old to basically doing it half of your life now,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and more. And what has been some of your experiences, good and bad? Just the circuit, understanding, how much work you got to put in.
hmm Yeah, well, I mean, one of the greatest things about this is being able to do something you love and get paid for it. That's still incredible to me. I remember the first time I got paid to do it. I used to roll with a comedian by the name of Jay, Jersey Jay. Shout out to Jay, comedian, and he was the first one that really put me on and show me the ropes. And he would bring me out to his shows, and he would force them to put me on stage. Like he would literally, like, you don't put my man up, I ain't going on. So I would go with him every show and do 5 minutes for. That's how I got better. And then maybe like the fifth or sixth show, he just gave me like $25. Like, man, just take this. And I was like, what? It was just unreal, because I was just chilling, just having fun. And then just, I mean, to this day, to get paid for it it's just very surreal.
What, did
For
you
that.
did you have your and you still grinding, you still at it, and
Mhm.
I know that you got some big expectations. When did you realize, like, yo, I'm funny? Like, people really laugh at
Mhm.
you. See, I know you, and I know that some of your comedy, most people may not understand, but you're probably telling real life stories that people may
Yeah,
not really understand.
it is a
And
fact.
when did you realize, like, yo, people really like what I'm saying? You're like, when did you have that moment where you just, you
Mhm.
realize, not you made it, but sort of
I know.
like,
Yeah, I
yeah,
was I was in Jersey City, and I had probably been doing comedy for like 2 months. And in Jersey City, this was back in the day. And they used to have this club called the Canton. It was upstairs in this Chinese restaurant, and it was pretty rough crowd or whatever. And I forget, a comedian went on before me and just bombed. He just ate it. I was like, oh man, this is not a good thing. And then I just went behind him and just killed it. Got a standing ovation. That was my first standing ovation. I was like 2, 3 months in the game. And I was like, okay. And that fueled the fire right there. I was like, okay, I could do this. I could do
yeah.
this.
So
You know.
that was the moment. That's a
Yeah.
great thing.
Yeah.
So segue into one thing before we even get to the actor part. I know you just had a big change in your life for becoming a father.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Oh yeah.
where
Well, I was
where
already.
where wearing that hat. I mean, I do. You did it. How many kids you got now, Vern? Two.
Man, I'm catching up to Nick Cannon, man. I'm at like, let's see, carry the one. Uh,
Two,
no,
right?
I got 3 sons now, man.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the little boys, 3 sons. Yeah, it's
Wow.
interesting. Like I say, man, I have two older boys, one 21, one 19, and I got one 3 month old. So
So
yeah.
let me ask you, as a newer parent, realize that you got two grown kids basically, and then having a new baby. Do you look at it different?
Yeah, you know what? It is different. I mean, at the time I was younger. I feel like now being mature, I feel like I just kind of enjoy it more. I kind of like savor it more. Like I appreciate it more. I feel like at the time when I was younger, it was just life was just happening to me. It was just like going. And now I just kind of like every single moment I have, I'm just internalize it and I just take a moment like, wow, this is great. Like wow, he just looked at me. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like oh man, he just held his head straight for 3 seconds. Like I'm like noticing every single thing
I
that's
think I
happening.
think I think me and you, we grew up in the same town, and
Hmm
I think with all the stuff that went on with the pandemic, I think it makes us all realize, like, you start looking at your own mortality, and then we're getting of age, and you start realizing the smaller and the pressure things in life are the most important things. But
Right.
anyway, what I didn't put in the title was you are not only an actor, but you're a writer. And
Right. Yeah.
Liquor Run. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Ugh. Oh.
Liquor Run, man. I'm excited about that one, man.
Tell us about Liquor Run, which I believe in the urban community, the title speaks for itself.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
the person that's going to make that liquor run don't come back with no Majorski.
Right,
don't
right.
don't come back with nothing cheap. And it's important that you follow directions
Uh,
and get the order right. I mean, I'm quite sure when you guys came up with the title and just it's so
well, that's very interesting. The title is what really got the attention of the production company. So what happened was with that. That's amazing story. Liquor Run was originally a skit.
mm,
It was a reoccurring skit. So what happened was, it was about a guy who wanted to throw a party at his house, but he was broke. So he decided to order liquor from a company called Liquor Run. So Liquor Run is kind of like DoorDash, but they have liquor. So
okay.
his idea was, hey, I'm gonna order this liquor, and then I'm gonna act like I ain't get it. I'm act like I ain't get it, so they can refund my card, and then I'm gonna be straight, and I'm gonna have a party of the century. And he did that, and the guy that delivered the liquor ended up getting fired, and that guy ended up being a stalker. He ended up being like a real problem in his life, and so that's how it was. So
Wow.
over time, I was like, I feel like this needs to be a movie. I need to start doing bigger things because I have been doing sketches for so long. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have been doing
Yeah,
skits.
you always dropping something on us.
Man,
You
I
always
was doing
giving us something,
skits.
man. I love the ones that the bus stop. Oh, I'll be crying, yo.
Oh, yeah. Listen, man, I was doing some sketches for about 10 years. Wasn't, and it was crazy because people thought they were really funny. They thought they were clever. They thought they were genius, but it wasn't getting the traction because people weren't really sharing it. But people weren't sharing it like I needed them to.
I'm
And
I'm, I'm gonna ask you about that, Vern. Like
yeah.
when when you know you produced some great work,
Hmm.
and you like this is it. This is the one, and then you don't pick up the traction. Like you said, everybody's telling you they enjoyed it, but
Right.
it's like in the world that we live in today, like yeah, financial support is helpful,
Hmm.
word of mouth is helpful, but when you're dealing with social media, the easiest thing that you can do is share my stuff. Share it, talk about it,
Right.
put it on your page. How did that kind of like discourage you?
Oh man, it made like major. Because what happened was I started doing it. Like I said, it was like I was like a 10-year journey. So at first I started doing. I didn't really know what I was doing. I just do it. I have a laptop here and use the camera off the laptop and just started putting content out there. And when I started doing that, I just used to just feel so fulfilled, man. I was like, wow, this is dope. I feel like I should be doing this. So every time I used to put out a sketch, man, I'm telling you, like I used to feel so much just joy, And then I got one man who used to edit stuff. We'd be up 12 a.m. sometimes just editing shit. And then over time, he got busy. I learned how to edit it myself. I started putting my own stuff out there, editing myself. And then I started really coming up with some real good genius, but I felt it was like genius level, hilarious shit. And people were liking it. People were digging it, but they weren't really sharing it. And I really feel like, and I'm telling you, in the beginning, I used to get frustrated. I used to be very frustrated because that's why it wasn't getting the love that it deserved, because people just would look at it and then be like, ha, yo, that was funny, and then just go about their day.
Yeah.
And I would like see people out in the supermarket or something, or walking down the street like, yo, that shit you did, whatever. And I'd be like, bro, you didn't even like it. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't even like it. Not forget about sharing it. You didn't even like it. Like, oh yeah, man, I'll be getting. But what I came to realize that people don't understand how it works. They don't really, most people don't really have an understanding how it works. And then some people, it's just not in their character. They just don't like shit. They don't, it's not like they're doing it on purpose. They just watch something like, that was funny, and they just keep it moving. Some people don't have, they don't process that, like, if I like this, it'll get them in an algorithm, it'll do this. So like, people don't think like that.
Yeah.
They're just looking
Yeah.
at it as entertainment and just keep it moving. So
Yeah.
at first I did take
Yeah.
it personally, but after several years and just thinking about it and just running into people that was genuinely liking it and not doing it, I came to realize that people just don't understand how this really works. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it's
And then
it's a crazy thing because you're looking at it like, okay, I'm putting my all into it. That's my craft. This is what I'm doing, and
mm-hmm,
all I need you to do is
bruh,
click the button. You
bruh,
watched the skit for 5 minutes.
yeah,
You could at least say, Vern, good job. Something. Even with that type of interaction, a comment,
mm-hmm.
um, it does trigger algorithms and allows your stuff to get more notice. So
And then
segue. Go
let
ahead.
me just before you do that. So now everybody knows it's a comedian. He's on Instagram and he's got tons of followers. He's hilarious. Is what's my man's name, Mr. Commodore. You know Mr. Commodore? Does
Hmm.
like ain't nothing to go back, fresh out. Me
Yeah.
and him started around the same time. And I remember he was putting stuff out there. I was putting stuff. He was like going back and back, neck and neck with it. But the difference between me and him was that his people was sharing it. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget. Like I used to witness it. Like they were just constantly sharing and sharing and sharing it. And then before you knew it, he would just go to the next level, and they just kept sharing and sharing. And I was like, wow. And I saw it. I saw what the difference was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, that's what it is. You know what I mean?
And it seems like people, the people that we know most of the time, they just
Mhm,
don't seem to understand. I agree with you that I don't think people realize the significance of the small things like
mhm.
just liking and sharing my stuff. Like I know
Right.
the thing that's on Instagram where people be like, that little business ain't grow
Yeah.
because you ain't share my shit. Because
Yeah,
you
but
ain't,
you share my shit.
because it's really that simple. I mean,
Yeah. Hey.
when you see somebody that you like their work, their
Uh,
art, just acknowledge them. So the skit became your vision was like, you know what, this skit is too good. Like I
yeah.
gotta get this
So
for.
so yeah. So what happened was I was like, I need to make this into a movie. I want to make it a short film. So that's what I did. I wrote this short film, Liquor Run. Wrote it out. It's about 20 pages. It equates to like 20 minutes, right? Each page equals a minute. So I was like, all right, I want to get this thing done. So I was like, I need a director. I really want to direct it myself. I wanted to be hot. I wanted to be like somebody that knows what they're doing. So I started talking to different people. Everybody was busy, busy, busy. Everybody was busy. Anybody had no dates open. Everybody had whatever. So one day I'm going to Quick Check in Union on Springfield Avenue, and I run into Hall. Jamal Hall's the director who directs he's directed several movies now, straight out of Newark, man. A lot of movies. I can't even think of them now. I'll think of them later. But I ran into him, and I was like, "Yo, what's up, man? Listen, I got this movie, man. Check it out, and let me know what you think, man. I'm gonna send it to your email." He's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. Send it to me email." Yeah. And I was just like, "All right, send it to him." Like 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, like a month, 2 months, three. I was like, "Oh, you on some bullshit." You know what I mean? Like he hit me with the Hollywood shit. He with the Vernell Hill. You know? Yeah, like yeah, when you in town, hit me. So I was like, okay. So then, like after 3.5 months, man, he just hit me out of the blue, like, "Yo, listen, man. I gave it to my partner, man. We like the concept and everything, the idea, but we want to make it a full into a feature film, a full movie.
Whew.
We want to chop it up with you." So I got on the phone with him. It was interesting because I talked to Grim, the executive producer. Grim doesn't pull punches at all. He's a straight shooter, love it. But Grim was like, "Yo, listen, um, I don't really like the sketch, the screenplay, but the name is crazy." He
I'm
was like,
telling
"That
you, it's
name?"
crazy, bro.
He was like, "That name is crazy," and we like the concept, but we want to add on to it. So we want to bring you on as a writer, man, and just make this thing happen. Just make it happen, man. You want to be in the movie? What I was like, yeah, let's do it. So we started that journey, and we had like a couple writers on the team, but things ended up not working out. Some differences and stuff like that with schedules. So I ended up being the only writer really on it. So it's like I was just like somebody just threw me in 10 foot of water, and I just had to swim. I had to swim or drown, and I was up
Wow.
there. I was up there floating. You know what I'm saying?
See, I'm telling you, man. For you, it's literally your baby. But
Yeah, it is.
for the audience, hearing that Liquor Run name,
Yeah.
and I know a lot of people that used to drink or whatever, or
Hmm.
just somewhere squatting. You know how it used to be back in the day, jokers up the
Yeah.
park. Yo, where you going? Yo, I'm gonna go make the liquor run, and then
Yeah,
he don't come right back. So it's so many things that just run through a person's head
yeah,
when they liquor run. It's like,
yeah.
yo, like what's going on? Like
Back in the Curryville, the Ville be like, yo, I'm about to hit the LQ. You know what you want? Called the LQ.
yeah.
You know,
Next thing you know, definitely our good friend Harold. He done ran into something else, and he
oh,
he, he hit you and be
that's
like, yo, I got
yeah.
caught up with something.
Oh, the
Shout out to Harold,
scatterbrain,
man.
Harold, the scatterbrain.
Shout out to Harold, man, because
Yo,
you
Harold,
know how our
what up,
brother is,
man?
man.
Big boom.
So really, like, what's next with Liquor Run?
Yeah, so we actually filmed Liquor Run. It's done. It's a wrap. So now the next thing that's going to happen is it's going into post production right now. So it's going to be editing it. You know, it's going to be adding music to it. It's going to be crazy. The soundtrack's going to be crazy. I don't know if you know. Split Star is starring in it. Split Star for the
Okay,
Flip Mode
yeah.
Squad. You know, so he's got a lot of new heat because he's got an album coming out. He's working on. So we got a lot of heat nobody heard yet. So that's gonna be crazy. So we're doing editing on it, gonna add the music to it, you know, all the cinematography, all that stuff's gonna happen to it. And it should be out I'm thinking like the spring next year, spring, early spring. So which is right around the corner.
I'm actually you because you know you kind of know, like, I done did my job. Everything else I don't have to do no more. You back in the lab.
Well, no, like see, normally yes, but with Liquor On, like you said, it's my baby. So like I was literally on the set every day when I really didn't need to be. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Just to make sure things were going smoothly. You know, just to make sure if I was anything I could add to it, I was there to add to it. You know, I was just there. You know what I mean? Because I just wanted to make sure. But like now, you know that's over. And like, well, that's in post production. It's really nothing for me to do. I'm on other projects now. You know, and like with these projects, I write it and I'm like, all right, you guys take care. You know what I'm saying?
With
Because
with with that, do you find yourself like when the opportunity presents yourself? Say like you do some stand up like between now and the holidays.
mhm,
Do you ever say like, "Yo, let me promote Liquor Run in the process"? Oh no, I ain't gonna do it here. I don't want people to feel like I'm being a little
mhm.
cheesy. Do you find yourself like wanting to promote your project, or just telling people like, "Yo, this is what I'm doing," like really selling your art?
Yeah, I feel like
Because I do know you, and let me
mhm,
just pardon me, Vern. I do
yeah,
know you, and you're not the type of person that is real talkative to just anybody. I know
right.
that might have changed over the years, and you probably be like,
No,
"Look,
it's
man,
exactly the same right now.
yeah, So how is that like? Because where we grew up at, you liable to see anybody, so that meet and greet and
Hmm.
speaking to a stranger may
Right.
mean something. So how is that like going back to Quick Check and seeing somebody?
Yeah, well, for me, like as far as Liquor Run is concerned, I won't really promote it on stage because it's not out yet, right? So,
Hmm.
like, let's say once when it gets into distribution, and let's say Hulu picks it up, let's say Netflix picks it up, let's say Tubi, I don't know, whatever. Then I can promote it like, yo, check me out on Hulu, check me out on Liquor Run. I wrote a movie, For right now, I don't really have nothing to say, It's just like, hey, I wrote a movie called Liquor Run. They're like, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does that mean to me? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I can't see it yet, right?
Right, right. It means nothing. So yeah, once when we go into production and all of those, I mean, once when it's distribution and all that, yeah, definitely, I'm gonna be screaming it from the top of the buildings for real.
How is that process of waiting to see, like, who
Ah,
picks up your thing and wanting
man,
to get picked up is
that
because
is
I know as an artist, you sit back and you say, this guy is on Netflix.
right,
How?
right.
Like,
Yeah,
we and we'll get into that portion of the conversation. But I know sometimes you be like, come on, you on Netflix? You got a deal? Like,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and you don't want to be jealous or envious nobody, but you respect the love and the work that you
Mhm.
put into your project. How was that
Yeah.
that battle like? You picked
Well,
up.
one thing that's very interesting, man, is that see the difference between writing a movie or being in a movie and doing stand-up comedy is that when you do stand-up, you get an immediate feedback, right? You know immediately if it's funny, if it's hot, immediately. Because when you say it, either they laugh or they look at you like you're crazy, you know what's going on. So but then when you write something, it may take a couple years for it to come out and you know how people will receive it. You don't know how people are going to receive it for so you write something like 2 years ago and now you got to wait and to see how people are going to receive it. It's it's very stressful. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
it's worse than waiting on a baby. It's
yeah,
longer than that, because even for baby, you can see the progression, right? You see the growing in the stomach. But this, you can't see anything. You're just in the dark till it's ready to come out. And then once it comes out, you don't know, right? Because
yeah.
you don't know how people feel about things. Sometimes it's very subjective, right? So it's like comedy, especially comedy. I've seen people who I think are just not funny at all, but they're famous, and they make a lot of money doing what they do, so you can't never really tell,
We're
who's
gonna we're
who
gonna
and who's
we're gonna
what.
we're gonna we're gonna talk about being funny. We're gonna talk about that right now. All right, I'm not gonna put you in a situation.
Hmm.
I'm gonna give you the name, and I want you to tell me what you think about these comedians.
Yeah, no doubt.
Paul Mooney.
Paul Mooney, I think Paul Mooney's hilarious. I think that Paul Mooney is just the way that he puts together his material. I think that he's fearless. I think that he's able to just actually write jokes. A lot of comedians will come up and just rely on their stage presence and experience, and they don't really have any jokes. Paul Mooney could come up there with just something controversial, and also not just be funny, but just be clever as well. So I think Paul Mooney is truly one of the greats. I really do. Yeah.
Eddie Murphy.
Oh, Eddie Murphy, man, is my favorite comedian. You know, and I think it's just mainly because of the era I grew up in, right? '70s baby and all that. This Delirious and Raw is just my favorite. I mean, to this day, I watch him and I laugh like I never seen it. You know what I mean? I just laugh like I'd never seen it before. And then Eddie was just so multi talented. With just the impersonations. Just like he could hit you with a one liner. He could hit you with whatever. He was just hilarious. Acting, of course, singing. He was just so talented. Eddie was just a beast. Yeah, I think he's the GOAT, to be honest with
Okay. So I don't want to. I'll give you the ones that I know that you know.
you. I know all the comedians, man.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
What about Red? How you feel about Red? Red's running for mayor down in D.C.
Who are you talking about?
What's Red's name? Oh,
Oh,
I
Red
forget.
Grant?
Yeah, Red Grant. He's running for mayor down in D.C.
Yeah, I heard that, man. Red is hilarious. I remember, man. I remember.
Vernon. When I seen his ad running for mayor, I'm like, he a comedian. Is this real? Because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know how funny he is, and I'm like, nah, this ain't.
Bro.
It's real. He's running for mayor down in
Let me tell you
D.C.
something. Let me tell you a story. I go back, man. I go way back. I go back to the Peppermint Lounge. So I don't know if you remember the Peppermint
Hmm.
Lounge. So Peppermint Lounge was that was a rough camp right there. You couldn't, yo,
Cutthroat.
the Peppermint Lounge make the Apollo look like a daycare or something, man. Peppermint Lounge was no joke. You had to bring it, then bring it some more, man. And I used to see people go up there and just bomb left and right. And I just see a Red Grant get up there behind him and just destroy. I mean, just destroy. You know what I mean? Like standing ovations in the Peppermint Lounge. You know what I mean? This was over 20 years ago. So you can just
Wow.
imagine the kind of monster that he is now. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So,
Let
yeah,
me let
hilarious.
me, let me ask you. We gonna get back to that because I think that a lot of times when you don't see comedians who we know are on big screen and did a
Mm-hmm.
lot of stuff like Martin, for example.
Uh-huh.
That's us. Martin, we grew up with Martin, and when we don't see them on TV no more, I think a lot of times people don't realize they're still funny and they still be doing their thing. They just
Oh, yeah.
around. So let me ask you, is it a lot of is it a lot of comedians that really be helping people behind the scenes, like helped you behind the scenes, like you said the other guy did, like really be like a sponsor, like yo, he this is my guy, he up and coming.
Mhm. I mean, there's a few. There's very few, and every comedian in the community knows who they are, right? There's like 5 comedians that do that out of like
Okay,
hundreds. You know what I
okay,
mean? To put it in perspective for you, and
yeah,
every comedian knows who those 5 guys are, right?
yeah,
So, but no, it's a lot of there's comedians who are just veterans who just won't even speak to you if you're new.
mm,
Like they won't even. You'll be like, "Yo, what's up?" And they'll be like, "Yeah." Anyway, that's just you got jokers like that out here. They won't even talk to you. The egos are crazy. You know what I mean?
I was telling somebody a couple weeks ago how I was as a kid I was a big fan of Carol Burnett, man.
Okay,
And I was like, man, I don't think these younger cats realized how funny this woman was, man.
hilarious. Oh yeah,
Yeah. We
hilarious.
grew up on that. We grew up on her show. So it's like, I
This
mean, as
whole just
kids.
physical comedy, body language. She was giving you everything: the face,
I,
the body, just
did you
everything.
ever see a comedian who is great on screen, but their
Mhm.
stand up is just not like you expect?
Great on screen, but I've seen the opposite. I've seen
Okay.
comedians who are funny as hell, but they're terrible actors. You
Okay.
know,
I don't want you to name them.
no, I could tell you like a Chris Rock. I mean,
Okay.
like I think Chris Rock is hilarious, genius comedy, but I think he's not a good actor.
Hmm.
I just don't think he's a good actor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember years ago I went to a comedy show. Remember Rascals?
Of course, yeah, yeah.
And I went and seen David Allen Greer. And
Okay, yeah,
I could not believe how funny he was.
hilarious.
And I know a lot of people be like, oh, living. No, 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 no. His stand ups.
Yeah,
And then he's a Harvard grad, I think. So a lot of
right,
people don't realize how smart he is. So
clever, yeah.
his execution, and he understood, having that relationship with the audience when he was
Hmm.
on stage. It was really really nice. I had a really good time. Is the comedy circuit competitive in a good way or a bad way?
Um, it's definitely competitive. But I wouldn't say it's not like a cutthroat kind of thing. Quite honestly, I mean, there's a lot out here. There's really enough for everyone. The only time there's certain comedians out here who have beefs with each other. You know what I mean? It's just like for some reason you got certain comedians that don't like he don't like this guy and he don't like this guy don't like that guy. Like here and there, but overall it's not. You know, it's not really like that. Comedy as a whole, I will say, is very cliquish. It's very cliquish. Um,
Yeah, I be seeing it as a consumer. Like, you see one comedian in their clique beefing with another clique,
uh,
and you see it when they interview. They'll be like, "Well, why this person don't like?" Because for us as a consumer, you would think that everybody gets along, and you'd be like, "Nah, it ain't like that.
yeah, yeah.
It ain't like that."
Now you got some of these larger comedians that have these little beefs or whatever. Like it was a Kevin Hart, Mike Epstein for a while. I
Yeah,
believe they watched that. But then you have people that are obviously not as large as them. They get into these little beefs over just it could be usually it's over money, right? It's over a lot of times it's over something like where uh somebody was supposed to be headlining the show and
beautiful. Yeah, hey, you segue and you should be on my side, man. You segued into perfect because I could have brought that up about the time with DL Hughley and Monique got into it
yeah.
about the
Well,
headliner.
well, that's what happens is
Explain what happened with that.
well. Let me just the point I was making is that what happens sometimes is that someone could be headlining the show, scheduled to headline the show, and then they may have a comedian on that same show that maybe they feel is stronger than them. So what they'll do is they'll say like, "Yo, look, man, I gotta leave early to talk to the promoter. I gotta leave early, man. I gotta get out of here, man. I just gotta call for another show, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I gotta bounce." And then they'll leave, and then the other comedian has to headline it, but he don't get his money. You know what I mean? So that could cause a rift between them right there. Like, yo, why you leave early and this and that. Or it could be another situation where a comedian will book a show and book 4 comedians on it, and he'll pay you whatever it is, 400. you 500, you 300, you whatever. Meanwhile, the comedian got 5,000 for the show, and you find that out later. You're like, yo, you got 5,000, you only gave me 500. Like, what's up with that? So that'll be a beef in itself, and that'll be so. Most of the time it's really over money. To be honest with you, it's really over money at the end of the day.
Yeah, I like Corey, man. Corey Holcomb. And it's funny because I don't see him as funny like most people be like, oh, he's funny. I just see him as being real. Like sometimes I don't think he's trying to be funny. I think he's how we used to do, like you with your friends and somebody shouldn't have done this that does it, and you just got that one person that always got them great comebacks.
Right.
They always just see some stuff that just be like, yo, you funny as hell, yo. Like you really do this. And be like, man, I ain't trying to do this. I'm just funny. I'm naturally funny.
I think Corey's hilarious, and I also think that he's very clever. He doesn't just come up there with like a dick pussy. He don't come up there with all that. He actually has real jokes, right? Setups, punchlines. I can respect anybody that respects the craft. You know what I mean?
The facial expressions be having me, yo.
Yeah.
When he get his eyes all big, but anyway, how you feel about the because we when you from Jersey, it's always something special about a Jersey guy, and only people from Jersey understand. Explain that.
Let me tell you something real fast, right? Let me tell you some of the struggles I had early on in this comedy thing. I had a struggle being from Union, and let me tell you why. And I will blame Jay for this, comedian Jay. Every show he would host it, and he would bring me up. He would always do this. He'd be like, all right, y'all ready for some more comedy? Y'all ready for some more comedy? He'd be like, where North at? Brick City makes a noise. Brick City makes a noise. Everybody go crazy. Oh, wait, East Orange at? Everybody makes a noise. East Orange at? Where Irvin's at? Irvin's in the house. Everybody go crazy. Where Union at? Union. Nothing. Like, God damn. Well, this next brother from Union, New Jersey, y'all. And just throwing me out there every time. And already, I was just fighting this uphill battle. Like every time I was just fighting this uphill battle, but it made me stronger.
Yeah.
He would always do that to me, man. And everybody, when they heard Union, some people would boo. But
really?
Union, like straight out of Union, New Jersey, like, boo, I know about you. I understand this was like 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, boo, fuck out of here, Union, New Jersey. So yeah, early on, I had to deal with that, man.
So now it's like, okay, that's where he's from.
Yeah, now it's like nothing now.
Yeah,
he represent
because they all moved to Union once they started.
Yeah, now all them live here.
Yeah, they all want to move to Union.
We live here now.
Yeah, I got a couple of hours. Then when they start thinking about the places they've been to go eat,
right?
Or, shop, they realized that you were on 22 sometime, and you spent some time up there. So, what's next, man? What you got down the pipe besides Liquor Run? Going into
Liquor Run, that's going into actually post production. I didn't even tell you about it, right? What's it about? Do you know?
You didn't tell us on screen. You was telling me behind the scenes.
Oh yeah. So, like you said, it's a great title. Like I was explaining.
It's an awesome title, Vern. I gotta tell you, it's an awesome. Even before you mentioned it, it's an awesome title, bro.
It is, and you know what? I mean, the movie is just a hilarious banger, man. It's just nonstop laughter, man. Like I said, it's just about 4 childhood friends. They're now adults, and they're all just trying to navigate through life. They just all catching hell financially, right? Each of them have their own personal situations, why they really need money. Like one person is just dealing with just a gambling addiction. He owes the mob money. Another person is just, his life is in jeopardy, because, his life, he's about to go to jail over some shit he owes money for. We got another person, his business is on the down, and he's got to get money to try to save his business. And then you got the girl in there, she's going through stuff with her mother. Her health is just declining and she needs to pay for health care and stuff like that. So they all got to get this money. So they try all these get rich quick schemes, which are hilarious. Like these things that they try to get money. I mean, you guys are gonna be on the floor, just in tears.
I mean, when you think about what you're telling me, right? and you telling us what it's about.
Hmm.
That sounds very authentic. I
Yeah.
mean, you remember when the pyramid came through, and we were younger. The pyramid, yo, you
Right.
put $500, you get
Hmm.
eight back and eight
Right.
thousand
Oh,
back, and
I
it's like,
remember well.
you trying to, like you said, it's about four friends, and you trying to navigate through
Hmm.
life, figure it out, and that's mostly what
Yeah.
younger adults will
Yeah.
do. Like,
And that's
yo,
it. And that's the thing. They try to do these get rich quick. They don't work, so they all come together. They come to this every Sunday. They meet at this diner, just for years as friends. And one Sunday they're there and they overhear this couple speaking with an investor about this crypto come up that they got. And they just singing his praises, talking about, oh my God, thank you so much. You were able to pay this off, pay this off, pay that off. And when they leave, the couple leaves, they approach it, they step to the investor like, yo, what's up with this crypto deal? What's good? And he's like, yo, you gotta get some startup money and you can invest in this. So now they gotta think of how to get the startup money. So they decided to throw a party, right? A huge party, huge house party. So they need liquor, right? So now here comes the liquor run, right? So they're like, we don't have money for liquor, and they're like, hey, we're gonna order liquor and act like we ain't get it, right? So that's what they do, and that just opens up a whole bunch of problems right there. Then at the
wow,
party, just everything comes to a head, and it's just crazy. It's just a wild ride, man. It's just like
right,
a Friday meets like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure or some shit.
yeah.
You know what
I
I
was I
mean?
was I was I was telling somebody a couple weeks ago that Kevin Hart had a lot of people don't realize Kevin Hart when he was in Paper Chasers.
Oh yeah.
That wasn't supposed to be a comedy. I mean that's a real story
Wait,
that
which one is
happened.
something?
Paper Chasers was a
Okay.
real story, and when Dame
What do you
Dash
mean, Paper
bought the
Soldiers?
yeah Paper Soldiers, right?
Okay.
When Dame Dash bought the
Yeah,
rights
Paper
to it,
Soldiers. Yeah.
he made it a comedy
Mm-hmm.
and got Kevin Hart, and it's just amazing how
Yeah.
you I know a little bit about the backstory, and then to see it on film,
Mm-hmm.
like it's amazing how something came into fruition. And
Mm-hmm.
Vernon, man, we waiting for that liquor run, man. We waiting,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
chopping at the bit, man.
That's a banger, man. And then after that, we got so that's already in post. The next thing I'm on right now is I'm actually in a movie. It's called Men Don't Cheat. That'll be out this year.
That's a
That'll be
fact
out.
too.
Yeah, huh?
That's a fact too, man. Don't
Yes,
cheat.
sir. Yeah, it's called Men Don't Cheat. We never cheat. If you saw something, you ain't see what you saw. You know what I mean? It wasn't me, like Shaggy said.
You just looking at the menu. That don't mean you ordering, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. It wasn't me.
so
That's it.
so you so that's coming out this year.
Yeah, I play an Uber driver in that. So I got a few scenes in there, about 3, 4 scenes, funny scenes in that. They're gonna love that. I'm working on. I just finished another screenplay called "Piece of the Pie." That's another comedy. That's about. I'll tell you a little. That's about a guy who is a pizza delivery driver who's actually mistaken for a hitman, and he ends up taking the money to try to like take care of his daughter's ailments, and the real hitman catches up with him and makes him like forces him to do the real hit. So you just see him just throughout the rest of the movie trying to put a hit out. He doesn't really know what he's doing. So it's just like you always hear professional hitman, but you never heard of an amateur hitman. So you just see him trying to kill somebody, but he don't know what he's doing. So it's just a hilarious movie. I finished that recently, and then I got a new project I'm working on with I don't know, Daniel Jean. He's an influencer. He's got about 500,000 followers on Instagram, and I recently jumped on board with them to write their movie. It's called Against Community Guidelines. It's basically about being an influencer and getting your page shut down.
Oh,
He's trying. Yeah.
oh yeah,
So
yeah.
so
I
yeah.
think
So
I think I think every influencer will probably tune into that because they understand
yeah,
how you could mess up community guidelines on Facebook, but
yeah, yeah.
don't
So
mess it
he,
up on Twitter. It's just it's a you got to know everything. You got to know all the rules.
you gotta know everything, man. So I'm writing that right now as we speak, and then I have something else I'm working on, which is a smaller project. It's actually a short film. It's going to be a silent film. Actually, it's going to be no words in it. It's going to be dope, man. It's actually a drama. So it's going to be about 10 minutes long. It's a drama. It's got no words in it. It's a silent film. This is gonna be like a violinist playing and it's just going through. You're gonna be just seeing all the. It's gonna be incredible, man. So, and that's only gonna take us like one day to shoot it. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
shoot that and just throw that out there.
Let me ask you, when you look at, you was there, you and Mr. Commodore was shoulder to shoulder, and you see how he blew up, and then now you see how everybody
Mm-hmm.
they turn their comedic influence into bigger projects. I mean, Kevin on stage, Jess
Mm-hmm.
Hilarious,
Mm-hmm.
Country Wayne, even Fat Boy. I mean, I don't think a lot of people realize what Fat Boy did. Fat Boy rose quickly. Like it wasn't
Yeah,
even
that's it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
at it that long. What do you say like that? Hitting that hitting that spot at the right time,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Well.
social media just taking off. Like most people think it's a saturated market, which is never a saturated market. It's just
Mm-hmm.
hitting it
Yeah.
at the right time and getting noticed. How you feel about
Well.
that?
Yeah. Like like I was saying, earlier. This thing is all about support, right? If you don't have people to support you and share your stuff, not just like it, but comment and like and share it, you're not going anywhere. Like I don't care how funny it is, I don't care how clever it is, I don't care how genius it is. There's nothing's happening. It's
You
just not.
you
You got to get.
you mess around and be out the game and then finally get noticed. They be like, "Yo, where's this guy at?"
Yeah, yeah. Like 20 years later, like yo, that was crazy. That skit you had with the robbery and the gun thing, and but that's just how it is, man. And but like I look back, all the years I did the skits and stuff like that, I don't regret any of it. And the reason why I don't regret it is because it helped me become a better actor and a better writer. Because like I could tell you that when I was on the set, there was a movie I was shooting, and we shot for like for about 3 or 4 months, and I had a lead role in it. Unfortunately, it got messed up in production, and they lost all the footage. But
Oh,
during that movie, yeah, it was where I learned that I could act. I didn't really realize it, but every single person that was on that set, from like the acting coaches to the directors, it was like, "Yo, where did you train at?" Like they thought that I had training, like acting training, but it was only because I've been doing a skit so long that I actually taught myself how to act. And the way I did that was by like, you're doing a scene, and then you watch it, and you're like, nah, that wasn't believable. Let's do it again, over and over for 10 years.
let me ask you now. I'm gonna put you on the gun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, the big break comes,
Mm-hmm.
and you're in a situation where the money's the same. You could write or you could act, but you could only choose one.
Mm-hmm.
Which would you choose?
I want to write all day. Yeah, that's the passion. That's the dream. And like anybody that tuned in later, the only reason I ever started doing comedy is because I wanted to be a stronger writer. Like I said,
Mhm.
back in the day in high school, there was career day. There was like not career day, but they were like, hey, we want everybody. What is your goal? Like, what do you want to do with your life? And we want you to do some like really really digging and see how much they make in that profession, what it entails, the educational background you need. And I was like, yeah, I want to write comedy. I think I'm funny and I love to write. So when I researched this, like if you want to be a comedy writer, you must do stand up. It's the best apprenticeship, and that's the only reason I ever got on stage. So like comedy is not my passion. I just love to do it. Writing is my passion.
Yeah,
Like
and,
when I
and
get on
and
stage and rock out, I
and
have a good time.
being able to, like you said, being a younger guy in high school, everybody thinks about high school when we're in high school is doing this, doing that. But really, when you think about it, you're 16, 17 years old, you really just trying to figure life out. And then you
Mhm.
get put in a situation, and then now people are nurturing your dream. And that's good
Mhm.
that you said your sister just bought these pamphlets. Like, look, this is what you really want to do. I'm gonna help you. You got to
Mhm.
redo it. And then, like, it forced you to
Mhm.
learn comedy because you wanted to just
Right.
write. And now it forced you everything. And everything you've accomplished to this point has been in stages to,
Mhm.
you just thought you was gonna write. It ain't gonna be that easy. We gonna get you to
Right.
act.
Yeah.
We gonna get you to
Right.
be a
It's like
comedian. Like,
you're gonna end up where you were supposed to be at the end of the day.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? It may take a little longer, but at the end of the day, you're right where you're supposed to be.
And
And it's
and
crazy
that's the
because
journey, right?
right, and the same people like we're like a Mr. Commodore or these other people that are big on social media. Like I'm right with them now because now I'm writing for for a major influencer, right?
Yeah,
Who has
yeah,
500,000 followers. So
yeah.
now like my foot is in the door in that aspect. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And
So
then
just
and then it so happens where a person may look at you like, oh, you the new guy on the block, and then other comedians be like, he ain't new. He been with us
right,
the whole time. Like we all been
right.
together. Like it's just a matter of opportunity
Well, see,
and
that's why I call myself the veteran New Jack. See, like a New Jack is somebody just started an event. I'm a veteran New Jack. I've been doing this. I've been in and out so many times, and it's not. It's just because like I've been doing other things, right? And it's also because comedy is not my passion. Like I love to do it. Don't get me wrong. It's a good time, and I'm good at it. But writing is my passion. Writing is something
Mhm.
I do every single day.
Yeah, yeah.
Something I do every single day. And and people can tell when I write and they read it, they're like, wow. I remember just being a kid, just people would read stuff that I wrote and they would never believe that I wrote it.
Wow, wow.
And that was always a compliment to me. You
Well,
know,
Vern, appreciate you for joining us, man. And
hey man, it was my pleasure, my brother, man. More power to you. I'm proud of the program, man. And I'm gonna support it, man. I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna like it. I'm gonna share
hey,
it.
you know how it goes.
You want some money? I can't help you though.
Like and believe it or
Hey
not,
man,
that's as we discussed, that's helpful. But you know the biggest thing, and you know
yeah,
social media. Everybody is always chasing that algorithm.
that's
That
it.
one thing
And
is
listen, let me tell everybody out there. Listen, if you want to support your friend, your brother, your cut, whoever else, man, and they're trying to do this thing, like it, comment, and share it. I know some people it's just not in your character. You just don't even think about it, but you need to start thinking about it. You need to start thinking about that, man, because you could help your brother, help your sister, man, get to where they need to be and where they should be, right? Don't let somebody not be where they're supposed to be just because you didn't like and comment and share it, right?
but you
Especially if it's dope.
but you like their content.
Right, but that's the thing. That's the thing that
Yeah,
needs to kill dude. That's the thing that needs to kill me. Is that it wasn't that it was terrible. If it was terrible, I get it. Like if it's terrible, I get that you didn't like it. But people usually like, yo, that was hilarious. Oh my god, me and my family watched it. I'm like, I never heard of you. I never seen you. You know what I mean? Talk about your family,
yeah. I know who likes and comments on my stuff. Like why you never told
right,
me? Like it's the small things that help. Like understanding. You appreciate my work and appreciate what we trying to do.
right,
But
right.
look, Vern, man, appreciate everything, bro, and
I appreciate you, my brother.
looking forward to everything you're about to do, man. And
And
get
listen,
ready,
man. We'll do this again. When Liquor Run drops, man. And
definitely,
once when you see Liquor Run and people get a chance to see Liquor Run, we'll do it again, man. We'll
definitely
chop it up. We'll
appreciate it.
chop it up again, man. All right, I
Appreciate it.
got you,
Thanks, Vern. All right.
my brother. All right, man. Be safe out here.